welcome to Geekology. I'm David Sabine.
And I'm Sven Harvey.
And tonight we're discussing the Star Trek, the official Starships collection announcements. Now, there was big news over the weekend on Facebook.
Yes, absolutely. Basically, Ben, who manages the whole of the official collection from Eaglemoss, took over the Facebook page from home and just started dropping stuff on us.
Let's just give them some information to keep people interested. Now, the one, it was kind of strange because we were obviously keeping a track of that, and then we started getting messages on our Facebook feed going, when are you going to discuss this?
Yeah, we were like, okay, we're planning on it.
The news is still coming in. Now, normally we don't discuss the list because we wait until we have the ships.
Yeah.
But Sven's got the list.
So many people have basically been going, well, and we're like, okay, well, fair enough then. Now, what I have done is that I'll flash some pictures up as we're going as well, so you know what we're referring to. As we know, we're currently at what issue? What was the last ones we just did? It was 26 and 27.
27.
So if you look at that, we've got coming up. We have we've just had the Romulan Bird of Prey from Enterprise.
This is the next one,
which is going to be followed by the Marquee fighter. Oh, by the way, I've got a bone to pick with you. You do know those turned up in Deep Space Nine as Federation fighters. No, you didn't, did you?
No! Yes. Hang on. During the Dominion Wars, they slapped that title on anything. There was a Romulan thing that, Federation fighter. They come on.
Attack wings of
entire attack wings of Excelsior class. Oh no, they've been retired. They've been in space dock. They never constructed that. There were more Galaxy class starships destroyed during the Dominion War than officially were built.
Unless of course you read the DS9 technical manual, and it tells you that everything was reactivated, every single ship that could be salvaged.
There weren't enough frames. I know it's fictional.
There was 6.
I know they were never created.
There were 6 Galaxy class starships produced. There were a further 6 space frames. Further 6 space frames that were broken up, ready for activation if they were needed because the
and they still destroyed 3 times that number.
I don't remember that. I remember one Galaxy class starship.
I know.
That's about it.
I know that it's fictional and that I shouldn't get annoyed. But there were.
I'm annoyed and you're annoyed.
There are more Excelsior classes and Galaxy class starships destroyed in the background of battle shots because they had that sitting on the computer ready.
True.
But no, it was.
It's not the Miranda classes that turned up. Like, how are you still in service?
Anyway,
back to the news.
Yeah, the Miranda class. Seriously, they were about no. Okay, ignore
the news. Right. So after the Marquee fighter,
Stephanie
Marquee.
Okay.
We then have a Jem'Hadar fighter. We then have a Nausicaan fighter. We then have the Valdor, big, do not mess with Warbird. We then have the Runabout. I'll be interested to see which Runabout we get.
It's going to be Rio Grande. It's going to be the Rio Grande.
A Hideki class Cardassian vessel.
Which, I have to say, fantastic that they're releasing that.
Yeah, it's another one of those things you'd never see anywhere else. Surah class ring ship from the Vulcans.
Yeah,
you really don't. Not impressed with them.
No, I just expected the Vulcans to have something a bit flashier.
Yeah. A Klingon bird of prey from Enterprise.
Yeah.
The O'Birth class. So you're a happy bunny. Yeah. Star Trek 3.
Yeah,
it had better be the Grissom, otherwise someone's not going to be impressed.
You know what? I don't care. Any ship from the Ranger.
Fair enough. Andorian Cruiser, which is a very strange looking vehicle.
No. You see, that's one of the funny ones. Looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those ones that if you say you line up 100 Star Trek fans and you give them like a pen and pad and say, draw me an Andorian, that's not happening.
The Delta Flyer.
You know what? Everybody expects me to love that thing. I don't like it.
Don't you?
No, I've never liked the Delta Flyer.
Shocking. Romulan drone from Enterprise.
Yeah.
Interesting. And the Enterprise B. It's an Enterprise, shut up. So
Excelsior with bitch chunked onto it.
Yeah, that's true. There's only so they can blow the chunks back off again, to be fair.
So you can mock kill Kirk.
Yeah. Now, that's what had been confirmed up until prior to this weekend.
Yes.
What they then confirmed was what's coming in the next 10 afterwards. Now, if I just pop up a picture as well, which are actually prototypes / working models of those that had already been announced. So look at the picture that's up now. You will notice an Andorian cruiser in the background. You have got the Birth class, which I'm hoping is the Grissom. You've got the Romulan drone, and then right in the foreground is the Delta Flyer.
So you can't read that.
Yes, you really wanted to be the Grissom, don't you?
I did.
Yeah, I think everybody really wanted to be the Grissom. What was confirmed after that, though, because the Enterprise B is issue 40. What we then confirmed on from there was 41 through to 50. Now, another photo coming up. Issue 41 is the Klingon Raptor from Enterprise.
Yeah.
Interesting name, considering raptor means bird of prey.
Yeah.
And it's not a bird of prey. It's more like a battle cruiser than anything else, isn't it?
Well, it's one of those things. Enterprise really screwed with the designs of all of the species. Well, all of the species. They gave them these really quite advanced looking fighters when you compared them to the original series. And even when you compared them to the first 3 or 4 seasons of TNG.
Yes.
So
what I do find interesting about the Raptor, though, is it does remind me of the Voyager class in a way.
Yeah.
So it's almost a predecessor to that than any other vehicle that the Klingons have. Issue 42 is going to be the USS Pasteur.
Now, you see,
Olympic class.
I was pleased to see this on the list, but I thought you'd be even more so.
Well, yeah, it's a fan. I mean, this is it's a weird ship, isn't it? I mean, it's
the
following the
unique design.
It's a unique design with the sphere, but it's not though, isn't it? Because you've got the Daedalus class. So I'm just hoping we get a Daedalus class later on, just put next to it.
Yeah, so you can have them side by side.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Daedalus class in the Enterprise version of the timeline is what replaces the NX class.
Yes.
Now the one thing is now we've had the extension. I'm kind of hoping we'll get the NX refit with the secondary.
That'd be
hull.
really nice.
That'd be
Secondary
really nice.
hull looks good for that
Yeah.
ship.
Issue 43 is the species 8472 bioship.
Yeah, you're not going to be at all interested.
I'm not going to be interested in it until it arrives, and then they're going to do exactly what they did with the Tholian web spinner, and I'm going to go, wow, that's nice.
Well, I don't know. You see, it's confusing on that one because there's lots of areas for them to do all the fancy artexing, which they like putting that on the stuff because they know the fans really want it, which is kind of a shame because it means that they're kind of focusing on that.
Yeah,
but there's lots of room for detail.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This could turn out really, really well, or really, really badly.
You see, the problem with that ship is something that none of the other ships have. It's organic.
Yeah, quite.
How do you do organic?
Well, we're about to find out.
I'm going to say.
Next year at some point. Is it that far off? I'm not quite sure. Issue 44 is a ship that most people don't even recognise.
Oh, it's lovely. How can you not recognise it? It's gorgeous.
And this is coming from a non-Enterprise fan.
I know, but it just has all the principles.
Is it just because it's an Intrepid class, even though it's a different Intrepid class to your Intrepid class?
No.
You sure?
The reason is, if you look at the original technical manuals,
it screams.
It screams it, except for that main deflector dish, which is horrible.
But,
don't like those deflector dishes, but it's novel.
Yeah, absolutely.
45's the surprise.
45's interesting. A Malon freighter?
Yeah,
the amazing rubbish pile that's floating in space, spewing out radiation.
It's a weird one. You know what? I don't know how that made it onto their list.
It's an interesting one, certainly.
One for, I mean, there's lots of them which you can say, but that one's like Species 8472. That's for Voyager fans.
Yeah.
But they appeared a lot.
Yes, quite. And
They didn't appear much in Voyager, and that ship was only in one episode.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
yeah, it's one of those. I'm surprised it's on there, but it'd be interesting to see how they do it.
Just mention the Intrepid class. It's interesting that going back to issue 44, that is an Intrepid class Starfleet vessel, but of course it's not a Federation vessel because the Federation
not at that
doesn't
point in
exist
time.
yet.
No.
So the Intrepid class Voyager is the only Federation Intrepid class.
Yes.
I'm trying to confuse myself.
Yeah, essentially. Just think of it this way: if it has fins, it shouldn't be. No.
46.
Okay, who doesn't want that one?
Rachel Garrett's Enterprise.
Everybody wants that.
Ambassador class 1701C.
You see, now, apart from anything else, that's a series they should have done. They really should have done that. You know, everyone keeps going, oh, you know, Janeway, first female captain, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't the first female captain. She wasn't even the first female captain in TNG, because there were female captains in original. Yes. So, no, it's one of those. Sense.
Now, what I'm hoping, and what
captains.
What kind of worries me about this is the fact that it's so late on. Because it kind of stuffs us seeing us anymore in ambassador classes. Because the Excalibur, for instance, has some changes to the model compared with the Enterprise C.
Yeah, but they've confirmed they make brand new spanking models every single time. It's not like they're using, we'll use the source section on the next model. It's a clean model. So them putting that far in there does not mean we won't get it further down. And if anything, it's encouragement, because it goes, well, you know, people want to see it, put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Issue 47. The Negvar.
Now you see, I knew you were going to get excited about that.
Yeah, I know you're not a huge Klingon fan, but this...
No, you see, I have no problem with Klingons. I enjoy the Klingon. It's just I'm not, yay, Klingon.
Yeah, I mean, this is the flagship, which is Gowron's flagship original, that turned up in Way of the Warrior.
Which
I know what you really want, and that's a Wrath of Khan Enterprise and Reliant.
Yeah.
You'd have a heart attack if they announced
that. Can you imagine if that was two issues side by side that came in the same box?
With what if that happened, and included in the box was the 6th or 7th special, which was regular 1. No. So you lost it. No, you lost it. I was excited because I thought you were going to say, what if you opened it up and there was Space Dock 1? My mushroom people. Come on, lots of people want a mushroom.
You obviously listen.
They listen because you're giving him his Voyager, for crying out loud. 49.
You know that if we ever actually get Ben at an event and he says anywhere along the line that somebody listened, I will be amazed. That must have been on the list forever, but it's just great coincidental value. So come on, move on with the list.
49, the ECS Fortunate.
Yeah,
that's an interesting choice, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes right up there with the let's just sew something that's only been thrown out once.
And this is... There's no way in hell a model of that would ever have been produced.
No one's produced it.
It is a strange ship as well, because obviously it's a cargo freighter with multiple modules for the individual cargo bays.
Yeah. But who has interest in it?
Quite a few people, it would appear.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, right, if you you can make all these ships.
Yeah.
Who's going to go, you know what, I really want a cargo runner.
True.
It's not going to appear in people's...
Of course, if the cargo ships from More Troubles turns up, you're not going to complain, are you?
Yeah. The thing is, even the species that I'm not interested in, I'm still interested in.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not like, yay, it's part of the universe. Yeah. I wanted the ships from the universe. So
exactly. Right. And then number 50. USS Enterprise. NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Oh yeah.
No images of this yet, but we know what it looks like, don't we?
Awesome.
We know what it should look like.
It's good. They can do it. They can do it. They can do a good job. I know they're going to do a good job.
Grid lines or not?
No, I don't want
Grid lines you can see at a special angle, but not normally.
That's the one.
That's the one. And
they're going to struggle doing that.
geometric shapes on the bottom of the...
No geometric shapes. I don't want geometric shapes. That's the new one. No!
How the hell are you going to have the Bombay doors dropping out your... How are you going to do that? How?
They can release another one later. They can release digitally remastered
you want a
version.
60s edition and an HD version,
Yeah.
just like Playmates.
Why not?
Like a Diamond have done.
No, seriously, why not? We can have the version of the Enterprise that we grew up with, and then the version of the Enterprise we all went, oh, it's so pretty. You know, okay. I'll be honest. I do love the digitally remastered. They did a fantastic job. I will not have anything bad said about it. But occasionally I do just click it over to be the way I grew up with it, you know. It's not one of those, I have rose tinted glasses. I know what the effects look like. The thing is, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Now, as we said, it's now extended out to at least 90 issues.
Yes.
And he did make a very good point of at least. So it's got to be selling really well worldwide. I mean,
which is really weird. Considering some of the comments we've had, we've ended our subscriptions, we're doing this. It's like, well, evidently some of the other countries must be picking up.
The interesting thing is, it hasn't even been launched in Germany yet.
Oh, you know it's going to storm in Germany.
It's going to go mental in Germany. So I can't see it stopping at 90. I really can't. It's going to be in triple figures by the time it's finished. Specials 3 and 4 have been confirmed.
They have. But we knew what 3 was anyway.
We knew what 3 was anyway, because everybody knew what 3 was if you'd been paying attention.
4 was the one that was a surprise.
Well, not really. We kind of knew that as well.
They'd hinted towards it was going to be another one from the JJ.
But yeah, what we're looking at, Special 3 is the USS Vengeance.
Yes.
Which is not my favourite ship.
Oh no.
And is it yours? Do you particularly like it?
I've never met anybody that said it was their favourite ship.
I have.
Ever.
I have. There's a couple of people. Yeah.
Why?
The people who like the dark side of Star Trek, which isn't Star Trek.
I've got a Mirror Universe tattoo. It's not that I don't like the dark side, it's just...
It doesn't work.
It wasn't a nice...
No, it's a horrible looking ship.
Yeah, there was no design principles there that worked. They had the armour and they retracted the main deflector disc and they covered up bits which were all well and good, but no. Apart from anything else, it was too big.
Yeah, far too big.
No, people go, oh, well, no, it's got nothing to do with the ship being too big. It was too big for that timeline and construction methods. When the Enterprise is this big, you cannot have something this big next to it. You can't build something that big when...
Do you know all of the timeline stuff they've been messing with that wasn't mentioned? I mean, this is the thing. There's a lot of stuff that was written down.
The comics tried to explain, and the book tried. And
but this is all stuff that was supposed to be in the film and was either not filmed in the end or cut out. So it's a bit of a shame.
The whole concept just really...
But yes, you're looking at the USS Vengeance, which is the battleship Section 31 vessel. Which actually puts a lot of people's back up just because of what it is, and it's therefore not really Starfleet.
Shall I tell you what I'm surprised hasn't been on this list?
Go on.
Where's the Mirror Universe Enterprise?
Which Mirror Universe Enterprise?
Any of the Mirror Universe.
We've got some more issues to play with. Let's see.
It's but I'm surprised they've not put that in, to be honest, this end of 50. I really no. I didn't expect to see the Enterprise one, but I did expect to see the original series one.
Well, considering we're not getting the original series Enterprise until issue 50, yeah, let's call it issue 90.
It's going to be no. But I mean, those ships will be popular. You know that. That's definitely going to be on there.
Special 4 is an interestingly named Klingon fighter, because it seems that what has been introduced to us previously through licensed goods as the Klingon bird of prey from Into Darkness, turns out it wasn't a bird of prey at all, it's just a fighter ship.
Yep.
Which we kind of gathered because it didn't look like a bird of prey. So,
too small for a start.
It's too small, yeah. So, we've got that as for special number 4. What we'll get from special 5 onwards is anybody's guess, because we've kind of run out of decent ships from JJ's. Unless they start doing things like the Excelsior and stuff like that.
Space Space dock.
And followed by let's see, how about a dry dock? And K7 and regular one.
Regular one. No, seriously, why aren't the space stations the specials?
I don't know.
In my head, that makes so much more sense than doing the ships. Do the ships as the individuals, do the space docks as the special. The thing is, they've got loads of them. But even if, I tell you what, I honestly believe, as boring as it is, that most of the subscribers to the collection would probably even buy, say, an Argus array if it was in the special range, just to have the, it works. You've got to have the bigger things bigger, so why not just do them as the specials?
Another thing that has been confirmed in part of the stuff coming from Ben over the weekend was that 1701A is going to have a very specific paint scheme to it. So it's not just going to be the refit with an A stuck on it.
No.
Thank God. So that's interesting.
Okay, to be brutally honest, I wouldn't have blamed them.
No.
I would, and you know what? I'd have still bought it.
Yeah, but it needs to be white.
It doesn't. No, it's good that they're going the proper way. Absolutely. But then again, Ben himself has said, hey, he's a Star Trek fan, which always helps when you're working on a Star Trek franchise.
Yeah.
But he's a classic fan as well.
Yeah.
And whilst I don't think that makes him biased about not doing any of this stuff, I do think it means that he's going to be poking people in the right direction with the original ships.
Now, we're up to 90 issues.
Yes.
Possibly even more.
Yeah.
We've already gone on about wanting our space station.
Oh, the space station.
And we did mention previously some of the ships we wanted to see. Is there any other ship that hasn't been mentioned so far that you desperately want to see in this extended range?
Oh God, yeah, loads.
Yeah,
I just covered a handful.
Loads, isn't there?
Yeah.
Absolutely tons of them. I mean, this is the thing, is we haven't...
Name a species and I'll give you the ships I want to see. It's that simple.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is we before we even go into other ships, there's repaints of the ships that are out.
Yeah.
That everybody's going to want, even with very minor alterations. We've already got a Nebula class. Mm-hmm. We're going to want the Phoenix because it's got a different back end.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will want the Excalibur.
Yes. That's fair.
I think a lot of people are going to want the Constitution class Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution.
There's a few Constitution classes that people
the Constellation in its completely knackered form.
Yeah.
That would be quite cool, and the Planet Killer to go with it.
Actually, the Planet Killer, that would be awesome. Weirdly enough, when I was just thinking, that one didn't actually. Oh, how did that not make my list? I didn't know. Yeah, it's a great ship. But the thing is, there was lots of great ships in the original series.
And we're getting a Klingon cruiser, D7 cruiser.
But here's the question: which Planet Killer are you going to want? Because there's 3.
Three?
Yeah, because you've got the original series one. You've got the digitally remastered series one. You've got Phase 2. Phase 2 came out with their own, and theirs was different.
Well, yes, there is that.
But
with Phase 2, Star Trek New Voyages Phase 2, if anything is pulled from that, I want Toby's refit of the Enterprise.
It's one of those things. Toby does great work. I have not met a fan yet who doesn't like his work.
Yeah, so I want to see that refit. Desperately want to see that.
Yeah, everybody wants to see that.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that grabs my attention. We're certainly getting the Enterprise J. You know that. Would we want to see the Enterprise F? From Star Trek Online?
What? It's part of the universe, it's part of the canon.
Exactly.
They've incorporated it. I mean, if you think about it, they are the go-to people. A, they know where all the bodies are buried. B, they have a huge resource of information that has never seen the light of day.
And it's interesting. I didn't realise they'd been taught the guys who were working on Star Trek 2009 and Into Darkness actually spoke to them about stuff. Which
did they?
Yeah. Apparently.
Okay, that's news to me.
It's news to me. Michael is producing some text for the next version of Star Trek Ships of the Line, which is being edited by Doug Drexler and Margaret Margaret Clark, like the first one was.
This is obviously
the first one.
Original one.
Yeah, this was actually released. Oh, I couldn't believe it when I checked it. 2006.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Wow.
But it was 2006.
Aha, very funny. It just seems like so
8
long
years ago is a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Think about it. Next Gen began and ended
Within that period of time.
There you go.
I know. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. I
Yeah.
love it to pieces, and we're getting a new version. It's just, and we're getting a new version. So come October, you'll be able to get the new Ships of the Line, revision 2, which has got a red cover rather than the blue. I'll pop up a couple of pictures now because we've got the front and back cover. It's available to order, at least from Amazon.com. I'm not sure about the UK edition yet, but you know, it's bound to happen. So it's certainly worth a look. Have a hunt and see if you can find a copy.
Well, I think that about wraps it up from us. So have you got any closing comments?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, I'm not going to mention joining the Back in the Back campaign because none of you are listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. There you go. We do have 2 live events coming up, although tickets are getting thin on the ground for First Contact Day.
Yeah, so
but
make sure you jump
there are
on that
still
as soon as you
some
can.
available.
Yes, but jump on it as soon as you can. Just make sure.
We have Auto Assembly.
Yes, which is the 3rd weekend in August, I think it is. It's the weekend before the bank holiday weekend, so at least we're going to miss the quilters, and we'll also probably see about 900 people educating David.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope you like buying a beer because I'm gonna want a few.
Now here's a question for you. 2016 is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. In fact, it's the 8th of September 2016. I've got a horrible feeling. Well, I say horrible feeling. I've got a sneaky suspicion that a certain movie will be out on that day, and may have some references to Mantrap in it, considering it's the start of a certain 5-year mission.
Then
You watch. It's going to have at least a reference to the Salt Vampire.
I don't know.
Doesn't,
considering who's doing it, the little voices in my head go, well, of course. How could they not? And then the other voices in my head going, yeah, look at who did the last 2. So yeah.
But
it's 50-50.
This is all Paramount stuff. What are CBS up to? What we want CBS to be up to is something like a TV show, or at least bleeding TV movie, don't you think?
Everybody thinks that.
Right.
I mean, come on. Think about the rumours we have heard in the last years.
Yes.
The
Captain Wolf show.
Okay. Oh, they're doing a new this just before Enterprise. Oh, they're doing a new Star Trek series. Oh, is it going to be the Excelsior? Does George finally get to do another 7 years? No. Is it going to be the Academy where we get to see cadets go all the way through?
No.
Is it going to be the Enterprise C? Definitely not. Why not? I don't know why they don't want to do that.
Well, this is the thing. We didn't get Sulu on the Excelsior, which should have had at least a couple of TV movies out of that, because that would have been fantastic. The Academy thing kind of now has been done.
No. They could do the Academy. The best thing is they could do 2 different sets of the Academy. They could do TNG Academy, or they could do Classic Academy.
Yeah.
Hell, they could do 2 series, have them run side by side. People would argue over which was more realistic.
You're going to really enjoy what they're doing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, aren't you? Because just let's do half a season, then we'll go back 50 years, and then we'll do another half a season.
There was talk about Captain Worf.
Yes, Captain Worf, yes.
Yeah, they actually seriously talked about that as well, which is weird. And somebody told me that this was a discussion that happened, and I nearly wet myself laughing, because there is no way that there was ever a discussion about this, but they talked supposedly about doing an entire series based in the Mirror Universe.
Yes,
that's some fans' wet dream. That never happened.
Other more interesting ones, NCIS Star Trek, which was actually
the medical corps. Yeah, and I was just like, what? Somebody told me, and again, fevered wet dream, never happened. That they'd honestly talked during DS9, towards the end of DS9, about doing a MASH style stuff. And it's like, they are never. A, the humour just would not translate, and B, no, that wouldn't even work for a season.
I mean, the NCIS one was quite a recent idea.
Yeah, but do you know? I'll tell you how every episode of that goes. He's dead, Jim. Beep, 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 beep. This is what killed him. This is how it happened. No,
Wouldn't quite work,
no
would it?
investigation there.
No,
Not unless you know it took place on a starship where there were no tricorders and the doctor was as crap as Quincy. He's dead, Jim. Let's put him in a torpedo, launch him into space. I'm going to investigate this. We need to get that torpedo back so I can check everything I missed the first time.
Could have been funny if they'd done temporal investigations.
No. Do you know what as well? Fun, and you should not have mentioned that because I'd forgotten about this until you said that. Somebody did tell me the temporal Cold War thing.
Yeah.
Who would watch that?
A lot of people apparently.
Only people that are that desperate now for there to be a new Star Trek. You know what? It would be Enterprise. It'd be like, oh, it's been too long. It's been too long. Give me anything, but not that. Just not that. Please, not that. It's
You're
one
going
of
to get
those.
hate mail for that.
No. No, I won't. I'll tell you why I won't. Because every fan of their own particular franchise admits that there are people out there that just don't enjoy it. It's that simple. Yeah, I've watched every episode of Enterprise. I've watched every episode of DS9, every episode of Voyager, the animated series, the original series. I own them on Blu-ray. I own them VHS. I own some on Betamax, for God's sake.
And Laserdisc.
Yes, and Laserdisc. on little bits, on digibits, on download bits, on I've watched everything from the universe. I have a right to say I didn't particularly like it. I watched them all. It's the same as Doctor Who. You're always banging on me about how great Doctor Who is. I've seen all of it. I just don't get it. It's not that I don't get it. I really do get it.
Now,
I just don't enjoy it.
One possible Star Trek series that we are lamenting hugely. Do you remember this particular, what turned out to not be a rumour and actually was accurate? Right, the Whedon Star Trek. Now, if the Whedon Singer Star Trek had happened, that would have been fantastic. You can just see how that would have worked. And you can see who the cast would have been, can't you?
I tell you, he'd certainly bring us... You know what? He'd be great. He really would. Because he'd go, bye-bye Federation. No, I'm going to go deal with this alien species over here that only ever bumps into you guys occasionally. And it had just been awesome. He did on Cowboys in Outer Space. Oh, I know.
Hold a minute.
Done that. No, you know what? I can imagine. He would have probably brought in some alien species that we'd never heard of, but for a good reason rather than there's a temporal Cold War. It could have been... Seriously, how many new species did they need to invent for Enterprise? And the Borg. Really? The Borg? The Borg. Come on. Ultra slow assimilation with ultra high-tech Borg.
Don't forget the Ferengi.
I didn't mind the Ferengi turning up. The Ferengi were okay.
They weren't seen.
That could have been glazed.
Yeah.
Things get lost.
Same as the Romulan
but the Borg...
situation. Yeah, the Borg was a bit...
I don't care how many timelines you got to screw up, seriously. And we found a cure! Really? We found a cure? Seriously? From a species of doctors that never existed? That's cool. No, I just... Now, you know what the horrible thing is? The actor who did that did just a fabulous job. Flux was great. Anyway,
now,
go on, move on.
If you were going to do a Star Trek series, now, if you were in charge of Star Trek at CBS, what would you do?
I've said it. The one that they've already had discussions for and dismissed. Academy.
Do the Academy.
Do the Academy. It'd be awesome because you'd already you'd have storylines pre-set up for you have your recruits. So you're going to follow one class. You're going to have your key characters in that class, blah, blah, blah. But then you've got the lecturers. Right? You've got to have backstory for each one of those. And we already know pretty much everybody that teaches at the Academy has done various things in stuff already. None of them are pure academics. You've got your seasoned veterans, so depending on what timeline you put it in, you can have cameos from any damn actor you like. you can run off and do backstory episodes where, you know, oh, our teacher's been kidnapped, we need to go find it. Oh, it turned out
some
the Borg
flashbacks,
of, the Borg, the Romulans, Kadassi, you name it, we can have them in there. You've got a wealth of storylines there. And the best thing is, once you've done your 7 years, if it's still doing well and still fetching in the money, we'll throw them on a starship. There you go, off you toggle. You know, Dan, me and you both know, and the entire class from the academy don't get on one ship. But guess what? We've got a whole Delta.
We have an Enterprise. It's been done before.
There you go. Yeah.
And it only resulted in the destruction of the
An entire lot. Yeah. No, it's one of those things. The academy could work. The other thing is, like you said about the NCIS. They could incorporate that into sort of the investigation. Okay, this is how you investigate a murder with no tricorders.
And you can always have flashbacks to things that have previously happened at the academy, like Nick Locano changing his name. I'm now called Paris. Okay.
No, it just the thing is the academy. Why? What you want to see Enterprise F, don't you?
Well, there is that. I mean, what I would do is probably just start off with Countdown in some form. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the whole Countdown now because you can't get Leonard involved. Unless, of course, Zachary Quinto can be made up to look old enough, possibly to do the role. And basically lay that down as the groundwork to say, yes, the Prime timeline is continuing on even after the Jellyfish has gone back to make Star Trek 2009 happen. Okay? What I would possibly suggest then is that you could have cameos from anybody from Voyager, Deep Space Nine and Next Gen turn up and ground the universe.
Don't get me wrong, I know where you're going, it's just...
I mean, what I would also do as well is rather than concentrate on just one ship, is maybe have more than one and more than one crew, so that you don't have the same cast doing the 4 a.m. calls and working through till almost midnight so often. Split it down.
There is nothing wrong with that way of filming. It has worked for many, many years. It has worked on multiple shows. Yes, some of the Star Trek cast have commented numerous times about how hard it is, but you know what? It is hard, especially if you're in makeup. But don't get me wrong, I feel the Phlox, Worf, Quark, anybody with that much makeup on, the level of skill and patience of those actors is phenomenal. But on the other hand, it is doable and it has been.
The thing is to make it easier on everybody, they could just break it down to have, say, you base the series around Deep Space Nine, you've got a couple of ships that are based at Deep Space Nine and then go off and do missions. And then you could have a group of a cast who comes in, does a filming block, and then those episodes are spread out over the season. You have another cast do a filming block who spreads it out.
That would only work if they had a team of writers write every episode for an entire season and have them done a year or a year and a half in advance. No studio is going to do it, with the exception of possibly Netflix. And let's be honest about it, I would not object to Netflix.
No, quite.
I'd possibly enjoy Netflix.
I mean,
I've seen what they've done with other shows.
Ideally, what I would like to see is something based at Deep Space Nine. Don't have any of the original cast as regulars, perhaps.
Why DS9? Let's have a different station. No, we don't need it known. It doesn't need to be known.
The thing is, if that's just the base of the ships, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it possibly.
The back end of the universe. Yeah, literally the back end. That's a very definition of the back end.
You could have the flagship turn up with Admiral Riker on board after he's done. Why not?
Why is he going to be over there? He's going to be exploring in other directions. Actually, no, he's not even going to be there. He's going to be dealing with somebody fighting in the middle of night.
What happens if they're trying to negotiate peace with Dominion and they're going through the world?
How big is the Star Trek universe? Seriously.
Big.
Yeah, very big. Now, we're limited down to what, warp 2? How long is it taking to get from here to here?
Yeah, but you've got moving nacelles for that kind of thing there, don't you?
Here to here. Seriously, they've made it a lot longer for you to travel anywhere in the Star Trek universe that's already been travelled. So you've got to, if you want to do really fast moving ships, you've got to do bits that haven't really been explored. And Academy, it just makes sense.